What's your biggest fear? 85% of people would name animals when asked this question, 70% of them will say snakes. Today, we will be talking about their worst nightmare, the Snake Island. Let's know more about snakes and this island specifically today. Snakes have a mostly undeserved bad reputation. Yes, there are some venomous snakes that we should all be wary of. But for the most part, snakes are harmless and none of them want to have anything to do with humans. Approach them purposefully or accidentally and the first thing they will try to do is quickly slither away. Without snakes, our houses would likely have more rodent visitors than we do now. They are an important part of our ecosystem. All that being true, there is one place where even those not frightened by snakes would likely be terrified. This place is called Snake Island. Its official name is Ilha da Queimada Grande and it is located about 90 miles off the coast of Brazil. It is beautiful with a mix of rainforest and rocky slopes. This 106-acre tiny island would be a wonderful place to have a picnic, if it wasn't for the up to 4,000 lancehead vipers that are permanent residents of this deserted island. Thousands of years ago this was not an island. It was connected to the Brazil mainland. Animals roamed the land as they pleased. There were what would be considered a normal population of snakes as well as many other animals. One of the snake populations at the time was Jararaca snakes. About 11,000 years ago, a period of gradual warming occurred as the last ice age ended and sea levels rose. This piece of land had some higher elevation areas and, when the sea level rise was over, it was separated from the mainland by 90 miles. Anything now on the island was trapped on the island, except for birds. This included the Jararaca snakes. The isolated island included nothing that ate the snake, but plenty of food for the snake. The snake population exploded. It eventually surpassed its carrying capacity, a population number that is sustainable for a given area. There were too many snakes and it was no longer sustainable. There were virtually no more rodents on the island for the snakes to eat. The Jararaca snake numbers fell, but then natural selection kicked in. Some of the snakes developed mutations that helped them in one of several ways. First, some of the snakes became quite good at catching birds. Birds could still come and go on this island so they would not be depleted like rodents. There was still a problem. Most venomous snakes bite their prey, then just follow them around until the venom kicks in. That doesn't work with birds, they can quickly escape before the venom kicks in. Another mutation greatly intensified the potency of the venom. In addition, the snakes learned to hold onto the birds for a little bit instead of letting them go. This is how the lancehead vipers evolved into their own species and became one of the deadliest snakes on the planet. Their bite can kill a human in less than an hour. Their ability to mainly hunt birds, and a lack of predators, made their population quite dense compared to snake populations anywhere else in the world. There are estimates that some parts of the island have one viper for every square meter of land. That means that you could not walk more than a few paces without encountering this most deadly snake. A nightmare for most people. A few humans used to live on the island to operate a lighthouse, but that ended in the 1920s when the lighthouse became automated. Now the only visitors to Snake Island are a once-a-year visit by the Brazilian Navy to check on the lighthouse, and a very few select scientists that have a permit to study the snakes. They are required to take a doctor with them. No other visitors are allowed on the island and most people are perfectly fine with that rule. Of course, some people do sneak over to capture the snakes and illegally sell them to snake enthusiasts. A single lancehead viper goes for up to $25,000. This has also caused some of this species to live on the mainland due to either accidental or purposeful release of them. It is now the most common snakebite occurrence in Brazil.